Hello everybody, welcome to Savage Ink Studios. I'm your host Ink, and today we are not doing a sketchbook story time. We are going to try something new. Those of you who voted on the polls on my DeviantArt account said that you definitely wanted to see a draw this in my style of famous artwork with a little bit of art history smooshed in there somewhere. So, ye ask and ye shall receive. I have done so. So today, I'm going to be redrawing the Mona Lisa in the way that I do art, which isn't a particular style, it's just however it happens to come out that day. So, without further ado, let's get into the art history bit, shall we? I apologize in advance for all of the butchered pronunciations of foreign words that I can't pronounce. So, here's what we got for the Mona Lisa. When we talk about classic or famous art, I think it's safe to say that the Mona Lisa is one of the first pieces that come to mind. This painting is believed to have been made between 1503 and 1517 by Leonardo da Vinci during the Italian Renaissance. The artistic model is most likely an Italian noblewoman named Lisa Gherardini. There we go with the butchery. And was painted on a 30 by 21 inch Lombardy poplar panel with oil paints. This masterpiece has a permanent home inside the... Oh god, it's spelled Louvre, but Jude actually told me how to pronounce it, and I don't remember. Louvre. The Louvre Museum in Paris. There we go. But this wasn't always the case. Its first destination was the Palace of Fontainebleau and then the Palace of Versailles, where it stayed until 1797 before finding its final place of display at the Louvre. It was, however, actually stolen from the Louvre Museum in 1911 by a man named Vincenzo Peruggia, who helped build the glass case that the painting was kept in. Interestingly enough, Pablo Picasso himself was actually a suspect of the theft before being questioned and then later exonerated. Peruggia was caught after 2 years when he attempted to sell the painting, and I mean, okay, so someone steals one of the most famous pieces of art ever. How much time do you think that they would get? 10 years? 15 years? Dude served 6 months. 6 months for the theft of the Mona Lisa, which I guess tells you about how popular it was at the time, which is not as popular as it is now. The Mona Lisa is kept in a bulletproof case supplemented with silica gel to maintain a 50% humidity and steady temperature to prevent any damage or aging, and to protect it from angry visitors, as the piece has been attacked on several occasions. The first was when a man cut it with a razor while attempting to steal it, and then again in 1956 when a man threw a rock at the piece, breaking the display case and chipping a piece of the paint off the artwork somewhere near the elbow. After the second incident, the piece was moved behind bulletproof glass, and all further assaults have been ineffectual. The Mona Lisa's exact worth is hard to say because French law states that museum pieces like this are to be considered public property and not for sale. But the last time that its insurance was valued, it was $100 million in 1962, which I think it said was something like $300 million now. So, yeah, there's your art history segment of this new thing that we might continue doing. It seems a little exciting. Now I guess I'm gonna talk about the piece, like the one that I did, not the super famous one that's insurance is worth $100 million now. So as you can see here, I put the reference picture up in the corner, and the first thing that I did after doing a basic sketch was tried to pull some of the colors directly off the reference picture to try and keep the palette color more or less the same, just to keep it at that same, like, mid-tone feel, I guess. It was really weird for me using, like, the skin tone that I used is significantly more yellow than anything that I would do in my own work, and I considered doing it literally in my style with my own skin tones and attitude, I guess, that you'd find in some of my pieces, but I did want to also try to emulate the original piece as much as possible, just doing it in the way that I do it. If that makes any sense to you guys, I don't know. So with the referenced colors, I did the character in flats with brown shaded lining, but the background I actually swapped out to a canvas brush in Procreate to try and make it look more like it was painted on a canvas. Now, interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure that poplar board isn't actually canvas. I don't think that's on cloth, but it was cut with a razor, so maybe it was. I'll be honest, I'm not super educated in any of this. I didn't go to art school, but if you look really close at the picture, you can't see those little squares that look like it was painted on a canvas. But that is the brush that I used to do just the background, and I don't know about you guys, but I've never actually, like, really looked at the background of the Mona Lisa. You know, we've got a brief image imprinted in our minds of what she looks like, but I haven't actually studied the piece and looked at the background, and trying to match those colors and figure out what exactly the background consisted of was really frustrating for me. It was really confusing. There were so many reds in places I didn't expect to see them, and the trees in the back, I think they were trees, were actually like more of a blue than a green. I did end up using green just to try and get my style across better, because I wouldn't paint trees blue unless I was doing like abstract work or something. So I was really surprised by the colors that I found and the different patternings and stuff. I did read some more interesting things about how people think that there were supposed to be pillars in the original picture, but there really weren't. I guess it's been tested and the board's never been trimmed, so that piece is the piece. But a lot of the famous remakes of the Mona Lisa have two pillars on the side. I thought about incorporating those, but I was having a little bit of a tough time and was definitely out of my comfort zone making this piece to begin with, so I just ended up sticking with what shows. I did do a heavy black airbrush on the bottom, because in the reference picture you can see the bottom of the painting does fade out into black. I definitely did not accomplish what I set out to do in that bit. It didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to turn out, but that's definitely something that I can, like, keep in mind to work on in the future, you know? So that was something that I kind of learned for myself through this piece that I had to try to do. Oh, and another fun fact that I didn't add into the original blip was that I guess a lot of people think that the Mona Lisa was actually originally painted with eyelashes and eyebrows, but that they degraded over time through being cleaned and just aging. So she's not supposed to have bald eyebrows and no eyelashes, I guess. But don't totally quote me on that. It's just something that people have said is a possibility. There seemed to be a little bit of argument on that. So anyway, if you guys have any ideas as to what we should call this segment, tell me if you liked it or if you didn't like it, or if you think I should do it differently in some way. If you have any ideas for what we should call it, please leave it down below, because I am not good at coming up with clever ideas for names. I'm going to put up some of this fan art from you lovely fans. Thank you guys so much. I love your work, and it means so much to me when people make stuff for the channel. It just makes me feel all glowy on the inside, you know? I hope you guys liked my new intro. I'm trying to keep this up and chic for you guys. Alright, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you know where to put them. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.